My husband and I are going through our garden. It's looking pretty sad at this point. Fall is definitely coming if it's not here already. So come join me as we clean through our garden, pick a few vegetables, and get them ready for some canning. It's quite windy out here today, but I want to show you some of our garden as it's growing. You can see these are the parsnips, and we have some. I'm standing on the wrong side, I think, because I'm shadowing everything. These are the marigolds, and you can see our rutabagas. They're getting pretty good size. See down here. See their size. The wind is blowing so hard it's blowing everything back into the way. See how good size they are? They're getting there, and I don't know, the wind has created kind of like a hole in my zucchini. I'm sorry if this sounds a little windy. I'm gonna try to talk close to the camera if I can so you can hear, because I know how hard it is to hear in this wind. The zucchini is doing well. I picked some last night, so there's probably not much in here today. There's still some growing. See, there's Movavi right here that's growing up, and there's still a lot of blossoms. So I thought I left a big one in here. Yeah, I did. There's one right there. It's still kind of growing, but I'm using the zucchini. I'm freezing the zucchini. I don't know. I'm thinking about canning the zucchini. I'm not sure yet. Here's the summer squash. Now, if you remember, let me show you where I am here. If you remember correctly, this is the big 2-foot bed, and there's the arbor that goes up around here. And then on one side we have the zucchini. And then on this side we have the summer squash. And the summer squash has gone wild. Look at it. I mean, it's just draping right down. Everything has grown so well. I'm going to show you this side. Look how well this has grown. I mean, it's just flowing right over. I mean, this was a good, well, almost 3-foot span here. And you can see how full it is. I mean, it's just unreal. It's been so healthy. And it's done so well this year. I'm so glad. We are absolutely loving our raised beds. Really good decision. We're glad we made the decision. You can see we've got quite a few babies. We've had so much summer squash. It's been unbelievable. We have given some away. We've eaten some. We've pickled some. Done a lot of stuff. Now you can see here, still have a few carrots mixed in about here. They're growing, but not a lot, I think, because the summer squash is overtaking them. But you can also see here there's a lot of, move over here, there's a lot of spots that are empty. We pulled our colorful carrots. They're rainbow carrots or something. They have a lot of color to them. We pulled those and we've been eating those. Those ones I don't can. I just plant them for fun. The kids like them, and it's kind of neat when you pull out a red carrot and it's orange on the inside. And here are some beets. I'm going to be pulling these today and canning those. And let's move over here. This bed is our kale. You can see this is the dinosaur kale, and this is like a, I don't know, like a curly leaf frilly kale. I'm not sure what it's called. And these are turnip greens, and we've got some Swiss chard, which I've been planting over and over, so it's been coming back. I've replaced a lot of other things that were in here. I'm trying to think what was in here. Arugula was in here, and some beets, some onions. We pulled all these bare spots have been, you know, something has been pulled, and in some cases something's been replanted. These are going to seed. This is my lettuce, my red romaine. You see it's all flowering and gonna go to seed. I can hear the ducks. I don't know what they're fussing about. Those I'm letting go to seed because I'm keeping them, saving them for next year. I don't know if we're gonna have a seed shortage. I don't know how hard seeds are gonna be to find, but I'm gonna save what I can. And these honestly are the only 2 good onions we had out of all of our onions, which is really sad, but onions did not do well this year. I'm not sure if it's because it's so dry or what. This is some more chard that we replanted here because our spinach didn't do well either. You can see there's no spinach. We had to pull it because it bolted an inch out of the ground actually. These are collards, which we are canning more of these greens, the collards along with the turnip greens. My husband has a great recipe that he uses for that, and we can those. This is romaine lettuce, which we've been using quite a bit of this. I replanted more beets. We've pulled some for eating, and I've been planting kind of behind, but they're not really doing that great. I don't know. I think it's just so dry. And there was some cabbage here. We've pulled a lot of the cabbage. There's a couple heads here that need to be pulled. I want to pull those before they start splitting, and I can see one of them actually is starting to split, so we'll have to pull that. This is where our other lettuce was. I'm trying to think, the butter crunch lettuce, and we've gotten rid of that. You can see there's a little bit of it. Must have been a little seed coming in there, and there's some more beets coming up. And let me take you over here. See where we're at here. This bed here, I am actually pulling beets and carrots here. These will all be pulled today for canning. These are, look, we've got more marigolds. I love these. And some cucumbers. The cucumbers, these ones are still kind of hanging on. You can see we've got some here growing, and some more blossoms in different places. So there's a little guy hanging on there. We're still kind of letting these grow. See some hanging on the vine here. They're growing kind of weirdly. Like, look at this one. I don't know. Is it lack of water? I'm not sure what it is, but we're letting them grow, and they taste delicious nonetheless. So you can see those did not climb a lot. This is the other arbor here. But, you know, they did try anyway. I mean, it was a help having them, because otherwise all of these vines here would have been over into the carrots, or, you know, down onto the walking space here. So it was nice to have this trellis. You see this one up here? He's made it all the way to the top. That is our squash, our buttercup squash. Oh my word. This squash has done amazing. Hopefully this is not blurry for you guys, because it's hard to see out here. It's really windy, but it's really sunny. These are some beautiful squash. You see those in there? They're all over. They're growing all the way up in different places. You see how, I don't know how they hang on. They're so heavy. But this has been amazing. We love, love, love this bed. And they're starting to, our nights are dipping down into the low 30s a lot of the time. So it's getting pretty cold here. So you can see things are starting to brown a little bit. We had one night where we thought we were going to get frost, and we covered everything, but thankfully we didn't get a frost. And then over here we have more pickling cucumbers. Let's see one down here. Where is he? Down in there somewhere. You see him? There he is. These are probably going to be pulled today. We'll probably pull these out and get rid of them, because I believe they've stopped growing. And you can see over here, these ones have definitely stopped growing. We've pulled some of them. Mostly it is all calendulum, however you say it. Mostly that's what's in here. A lot of this right now. We've pulled out the green beans. The pigs liked those. Well, this wind is so terrible. I'm just going to voice over this part of the video. As you can see, these are our tomato. They're called Best Boy tomatoes, and they have grown so well. I mean, it was rough in the beginning. We lost a lot of our plants, but oh my gosh. I mean, in the end, if you think about it, look at these. These are amazing. We would never have had room for all of the plants that we lost. And you can see we've got basil in between each one of our plants. And I've just grown purple basil and just the regular green basil. These are the Roma tomatoes that we planted. We are absolutely loving these. We've had a couple. One of them was completely seedless. That was weird. I'd never seen that before. I did post a picture of it under my other channel, Mimi's Pantry, over on Instagram, so check that out. One of the things that I need to do today is pull all of our beets and our carrots. I am going to can these. In the past, whenever we have done a garden, we would generally eat quite a bit out of it. Probably, I mean, I say quite a bit. We'd eat about a third of what we planted, and then I would can the rest. But I've gotten so that now I pretty much can everything in our garden. I mean, we'll eat a little bit of it, like the lettuces or the greens, some of the tomatoes, like I'm really bad at that. I don't like to eat the tomatoes, to be totally honest with you. I mean, I like tomatoes, but I like to have them to can for winter. It's just like the rest of the garden. I mean, like I said, we eat a little bit of it, but like the beets, we didn't have any of our beets. We didn't have any of the green beans. Yeah, the peas, we did eat the peas because we don't plant enough of those. I think to have peas, a lot of peas, you have to plant quite a few. And we just don't plant that many. We just plant enough to have with some new potatoes and cream, a New England favorite. Not for me, but for my husband. I'm not into that. But, you know, I just like to can my food. For me, I want to grow a garden and put it away for winter. That's my goal. I want to plant as much as I can, eat as little as I can out of it, and just have it for winter storage. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Is that how you do yours? I mean, if my garden were bigger, I would probably eat more out of it. But I don't know. I love the thought of putting food away for winter. We do have plans for building more beds next year, so that's really exciting. We can't wait to do that. We're going to rearrange things a little bit differently. I mean, this was truly a learning year for us, but it was fun. Look at this little carrot. Isn't he cute? He looks like he's wearing pants. We got quite a few carrots actually, and I still have quite a few left in the garden. The ones that are left aren't going to have much size to them, I don't think. They don't have enough growing time. I do have plans for those. I'll probably cook with those. They won't be canned. Any of the recipes that I make, I will post over on my other channel, Mimi's Pantry, and I'll leave a link to that channel in my channel box below. Okay, now moving on to the pickling cucumbers. This is a tangled mess. We just kind of trellised everything as it was growing. And yeah, I mean, we're trying to pull it all out, get all of those cucumbers out. I mean, there's a few on the vines and there's a couple of blossoms, but they're really not producing anymore. It's just too cold. Cucumbers like a warm environment and they're just not getting it. Our days are pretty cool now. Our nights are even cooler. Yeah, so we're just pulling all of this up. We've got the end of this bed and we've got a little bit of the other bed next to the calendulas. There's some more pickling cucumbers in there. So we're pulling all of that up along with all of our green beans. This was a trial year with these beds and what we were trellising and what we weren't trellising. And yeah, we weren't sure how everything was going to grow. We'd never grown these pickling cucumbers before, so we kind of have an idea now how we're going to do things different, so it will be trellised differently. I absolutely love designing anything, really, and I enjoyed designing this garden. I am loving the thoughts that I get to design it differently each year. I'm rotating all of the vegetables into different beds, and I'm thinking about how I'm going to trellis differently and different things that I can add to the beds next year to make them even more productive or just even prettier, because, you know, we just like to pretty things up, or I do anyway. I just love design. If I can decorate and design a garden, well, I'm going to do that just as well as I decorate and design my house. Well, you can see that our compost is doing well. It's filling up anyway. We probably would have had a whole lot more in this compost, but we've been giving a lot to the pigs and the chickens and the cows and the ducks and the turkeys. Our son, who lives next door to us, has quite a few animals, and we've kind of adopted them. We love them. He pastures the cows and the sheep on our land, and I love being able to look out our kitchen window and just see the cows and the sheep every day. And we get to hear the ducks and the turkeys. I love hearing the turkeys gobble. And I just love visiting with the pigs. They have such sweet personalities. But I do know that he is raising them for food. I mean, I grew up on a farm, so I know how all that works. We made it in the house. It started to rain. I had to hurry because I was so afraid my camera would get wet. But this is our basket. Look at this. It's just flowing over. I picked some of the summer squash. There's quite a few under there, but you can't see them all. And I also picked some dill. Our dill is kind of going by, and I have a few pickling cucumbers. Shoot, I've got some pickling cucumbers I left out there. I might have to run back out and grab those. When we pulled the cucumber plants, I left a few cucumbers setting aside that I wanted to bring in and just do a few more dill, whatever I can get. I don't want to waste any. But look at this. I mean, this is just, look at this guy. Look how big around that is. He is really big. It's just unbelievable. And you see how big my hand is. That's a good carrot. That's a really good carrot. And the length of these carrots, it's just unbelievable. There's one in here that's incredibly long. I'm going to measure it. I know it's going to be the longest one I've seen in the garden. I want to show you this guy too. This guy, look at this. This is how he grew. He was kind of hanging from the plant and he was hitting the ground, so he kind of hit the ground here and just kept growing. It's kind of neat how he grew. But oh my gosh, what a beautiful harvest. I cannot wait to get this into our root cellar.